The Ron Morehead Sierra sounds are among the most compelling and controversial pieces of evidence in the search for Bigfoot. Captured in the early 1970s in the remote Sierra Nevada mountains of California, these audio recordings feature a range of bizarre and unidentifiable vocalizations that continue to mystify experts and fuel the debate over the existence of Bigfoot. The origin of the Sierra sounds. The story begins in 1971 when Ron Morehead and his friend Al Berry, along with a group of hunters, began experiencing strange occurrences while camping in a remote, mountainous region known only to a few. The area, deep in the wilderness and accessible only by horseback, was the perfect location for an isolated hunting camp. But it soon became the setting for something far more mysterious. One night, while gathered around the campfire, the men began hearing odd sounds emanating from the surrounding forest. The noises ranged from eerie whoops and whistles to growls and loud knocks, as if something massive was moving through the trees. Unsettled but intrigued, the group decided to document what they were hearing, leading to what would become the now famous Sierra Sounds recordings. The nature of the sounds, the recordings themselves contain an array of vocalizations that don't match any known animal. The most prominent features are growls and whoops. Low, guttural growls and deep, resonant whoops are heard throughout the recordings. These sounds are loud and powerful, suggesting a creature of significant size. Screams and howls, long, piercing screams reverberate through the forest, escalating into unearthly howls. These chilling sounds are so intense that some listeners have likened them to a human in distress, but with a pitch and volume beyond human capability. Samurai chatter. Perhaps the most distinctive and intriguing aspect of the Sierra sounds is what's known as samurai chatter. This is a series of rapid staccato vocalizations that resemble human speech, though in a language unknown to any listener. The chatter features intonations and patterns that suggest intelligent communication, often described as resembling the cadence of Japanese, hence the nickname. The conversation often appears to involve multiple entities interacting with one another, as if they are responding back and forth. Wood knocks and footfalls. In addition to vocal sounds, the recordings also capture loud wood knocks, possibly created by large rocks or sticks, and heavy footfalls, implying that whatever was making the noises was large and bipedal. These knocks seem to be used as some form of communication or signaling system between the unseen creatures.
We're in for a night view.
Which one's obvious? That's our deal. Now we know where we went for tracks and all for sure. There's two of them across the creek at the big rocks. It's a hard act to follow.
It sounds like he talks to us and they talk to each other.
Yeah. Right there, I just seen movement right through there.
Over the years, the Sierra sounds have been analyzed by various professionals, including audio engineers, cryptozoologists, and linguistic experts. Two of the most prominent analyses came from Dr. R. Lynn Curlin, a professor of electrical engineering who studied the frequencies of the sounds, concluded that the recordings captured were beyond the range of human vocal cords, both in terms of pitch and frequency modulation. He found that the sounds appeared to have been made by something with a much larger lung capacity and vocal range than any known human or animal species in the area. Scott Nelson, a retired U.S. Navy linguist, studied the Sierra sounds in depth and determined that they contained clear patterns of speech. According to Nelson, the recordings exhibit characteristics of a language with complex intonations and syntax that follow a structured form of communication. This led him to conclude that the creatures responsible for the sounds were not only intelligent, but also communicating with each other. While many have been convinced by the scientific rigor applied to the analysis of these sounds, the phenomenon remains shrouded in mystery. Critics have suggested that the recordings could be an elaborate hoax. Although this is difficult to substantiate given the isolated location, the consistency of the sounds, and the fact that they were captured over multiple years. The Encounter's Morehead and his fellow campers did not just hear these sounds, they also felt the physical presence of the creatures during several encounters. According to Morehead, they sometimes heard the creatures approaching the camp, with the heavy footsteps echoing through the forest as they drew near. On some occasions, the beings appeared to circle the camp, staying just outside the range of their flashlights, adding to the tension and fear of the situation. Despite these unnerving encounters, Morehead and his team never physically saw the creatures responsible for the sounds, though they reported seeing large, shadowy figures and having the distinct feeling of being watched. The remoteness of the area and the consistency of the encounters led Morehead to believe that they were interacting with a family or group of Sasquatch. Theories and interpretations. Many theories have been proposed regarding the origin of the Sierra Sounds. Bigfoot Sasquatch. The most widely accepted theory among cryptozoologists is that the recordings are proof of Sasquatch's existence, capturing their vocalizations and communication in a way never previously documented. The fact that multiple entities can be heard in the recordings suggests the possibility of a social structure, with the creatures working together or communicating as a group. Unknown primate. Some researchers speculate that the sounds could be evidence of an undiscovered primate species living in the remote wilderness. Given the vocal range and communication style, this theory suggests that these creatures are closer to humans than previously thought, capable of using a rudimentary language. Hoax. Skeptics point to the possibility of an elaborate hoax, suggesting that the sounds could have been manufactured using various techniques or staged by people imitating creatures. However, this theory is often dismissed due to the length of time over which the sounds were recorded, the isolated location, and the complexity of the vocalizations. Paranormal or interdimensional beings. Some theorists have gone beyond the natural world, suggesting that the creatures responsible for the sounds could be paranormal entities or interdimensional beings, given the strange nature of the vocalizations and the elusive behavior of the creatures. Legacy of the Sierra Sounds. The Sierra Sounds remain one of the most hotly debated and fascinating pieces of Bigfoot evidence to this day. Ron Morehead, who has since become a leading figure in Bigfoot research, continues to advocate for the study of these sounds, believing that they offer crucial insights into the nature of Sasquatch. His books and lectures explore not only his encounters, but also the broader implications of intelligent beings living in remote, wild areas hidden from mainstream discovery. Morehead's recordings have been featured in documentaries, radio shows, and podcasts, sparking ongoing interest and speculation. To this day, the Sierra Sounds have never been fully debunked or explained by scientific or wildlife experts, leaving them as a haunting and enigmatic testament to one of the most enduring mysteries of cryptozoology.